I suppose the thing that makes me more angry than anything else is that the complacency of people expecting that the country owed them a living.
Especially when you live in America, you get this great sense of Australia being down in the middle of nowhere.
Let's sort of get off the bandwagon of bagging people and start doing something positive about turning this economy around.
Australia's a lucky country, run by mainly second-rate people who just happen to share in that luck. That's what author Donald Horne said about our export industry back in 1964. Some say things have been slow to change. We're deep in the middle of an economic recession. But there are some very smart business people who are well and truly making their mark overseas. And they've got some very good advice for Prime Minister Paul Keating.
I just designed what I liked and what was successful in Australia, and I thought I'd show it overseas and see what they thought.
Anne Lewin's lingerie is worn by some of the richest ladies in the world. In New York, the Kennedy women and Diana Ross wait eagerly for her new designs.
Americans expect you to be there all the time and be constantly showing and doing the right thing, and if you disappear, they forget all about you.
In 1989, the former Brisbane girl packed her bags for Manhattan to establish her now multi-million-dollar international base. Her designs are handmade here in Australia and exported to her exclusive overseas markets. But while determined to keep manufacturing in Sydney, she's worried about Australia's future.
America is building an economic bloc with Canada and Mexico and South America. Europe is building an economic bloc with all the European countries. We're supposedly going to become part of Asia, but I find that a little hard to believe. Our culture is so different, and economically we don't seem that connected to Asia at all. We're in the very bad position of, in 10 years' time, being left out in the middle of the Pacific with no connections to any economic bloc.
It is certainly the case that manufacturing is in demise in Australia, but as a nation, we have lost credibility over the last 5 years. There is no doubt about that.
Roger Perkins is the managing director of Bliss Corporation, a manufacturer of heavy transport, mining and airport equipment. His advice to Paul Keating: forget the level playing field. Free trade without protection is a myth.
And what we want is to be able to compete on level playing terms with those customers or those countries that we compete against.
And that means financial help. Help Perkins says the government is slow to react to. So how much bureaucratic red tape is there that you have to get through?
We've got to be able to supply today what the market wants. We can't have people who are paper shuffling, trying to cross all the T's and dot all the I's while business is disappearing before our eyes.
It's probably one of Australia's most unusual exports, cheesecakes to the Japanese. Back in 1979, a tiny Melbourne company decided to make money out of Japan's sweet tooth, and it's working. But the breakthrough didn't come easily.
We need to overcome the problem of penalty rates on weekends, or else what's going to happen is the manufacturing industry will have to go out and borrow to expand, and we're already up to our ears in debt.
So if owner Dermot Hannigan had to do it all over again and start now in the midst of recession, would he?
I think it would be impossible to start a business in Australia today as a small businessman.
Why?
Because the costing structures will send you broke within 6 months.
Recognise the face? In Japan, artist Ken Doan is the face of Australia and our highest profile international trader. He's exported everything from art to fashion and even beer cans.
I've always thought that you, extremely lucky to be born here. I mean, I've lived in lots of countries in the world and I can't think of a luckier country to be, but luck doesn't mean just sitting down waiting for the dice to come up. I mean, luck means playing the game. If you do business with the Japanese, as we do, I think that you have to understand that they're here for not a long period of time, so that you have to influence them before they come here.
And what about the people that are always wanting tax breaks, incentives? You know, what would you say?
Well, we've always found in our business, if you make good products and you make some profit, you put that profit back into the business, and really that's how you grow. You get on with it yourself, I think, is what it's about.
So is there a real possibility of Australia becoming a third world country? How close do you think we are to having a South Pacific peso and being the banana republic?
Oh, look, David, we've never been a banana republic. I mean, what a stupid statement that Keating made, and what damage it did to our economy. I mean, there is no better place in the world that I can suggest you would rather live than Australia.
We've persevered, and perseverance is very important. You have to be there all the time, pushing and doing the right things to get into the marketplace and stay there.
One of the great things about Australia is the lifestyle that we have, the quality of life that we had. And I think no one is saying that you should forgo that, but it is at a price. You have to work for it. It's not going to drop out of the sky. It's like all of those cliches that, you know, people always say to you, you have to work hard.